Chicago Bears have won 5 out of 6. And no matter what they do, they're not being taken seriously. And you know what? This is the perfect way for the circumstances to come together for a coach, because you don't have to worry about your guys getting a big head because no one's saying or doing anything that would give them a big head. And then you use the fact that people aren't giving you the respect that you deserve to motivate your guys to go out and keep winning. Now, the schedule gets a little bit tougher starting on Monday night with a game against the Rams and then the Saints and then at the Titans. So we're going to learn a lot about the Bears over the next 3 weeks. But for them to be 5-1, Charean, do we need to be taking them more seriously than we currently are?
Oh, probably. But, I compare it to 2 years ago. I didn't take them real seriously either. And they were a clanked field goal, double doink off the field goal from advancing in the postseason. But nothing's been real impressive. I mean, Detroit's 2-3, the Giants 1-5, the Falcons 1-5. Okay, the Bucs, that was a good win at 4-2. And maybe if Brady doesn't forget the downs, maybe they lose that game. Panthers 3-3. They lost the Colts, who were 4-2. So their next 5 to me are going to tell me exactly where this team is. And maybe they're better than I think they are, because I'm one of those who's not giving them the respect, perhaps, that they're due. And, we heard Nick Foles say, well, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. Hey, I want to win pretty. And there are a lot of teams in this league winning pretty right now, and they're not one of them. And so when you start talking about teams you think are going to contend, there's certainly not one I put in that category.
Yeah, I think the list goes lose ugly, lose pretty, win ugly, win pretty, because winning ugly is not sustainable. Because if you are winning by the skin of your teeth, if you're relying upon flukes, if you're relying upon the greatest quarterback of all time losing track of the downs, eventually that's going to catch up to you over the course of a 16-game season. But here's Nick Foles from Sunday. And this is spirited, and this is passionate, and it's inspiring, and it's something that everyone needs to be listening to, because this is a guy who was a Super Bowl MVP. He's the consummate leader and teammate. He's doing what he can to will this team to be better than the sum of the parts. Here he is from yesterday.
We're not going to get complacent and say, hey, man, we're 5-1. This is it. No, we're sitting there in the locker room after the game talking through it. Hey, we got to be better here. This is what we got to do here. Communication here, route running here. Hey, we got to be able to run the ball here. We know that. I know y'all going to ask those questions. We know that. And that's what's exciting, because we don't have to have y'all say, hey, you doing this? Hey, we know. But we also know that we're going to improve because we believe in one another. And that's what great teams do. Great teams find a way to win a game. Bad teams win with prettiness. Great teams win no matter how it takes. So I'm proud of our guys. I think we're continuing to improve. Are we where we want to be? No, we're not where we want to be. But I'm excited about our offense. I'm excited about the guys that are there. I like the communication that's happening on the sideline. I love the passion of the players. Most important, they care, and we're bonding. We're getting to know each other. That's football. You don't just go out there and play football. You got to care about the man next to you to make those plays. So I like where we're at. I know we're going to improve. I believe in our staff. I believe in our players. And I'm really grateful to be a part of this organization.
It just cracks me up to see him talk like that. He's got the demeanor of the guy who ordered decaf and accidentally got regular. It's just great. I love it. I love it. And that's that's the best thing about the Bears right now. They made the decision to go with Foles when they were down in a game that they ultimately came back and won. He lost the Colts game, but he's beaten the Bucs, and now he's beaten the Panthers, who were favored to win, which I thought played into the Bears' hands. And we're going to find out. Like I said, Rams, Saints, Titans. We're going to find out if his team is built to last, Charean.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And really their next 5 games, Rams, Saints, Titans, Vikings, and Packers. And so that's really a tough stretch there. I mean, there's one game there I think that they're going to be favored in.
Tough stretch. Don't call the Vikings. Don't try to make me feel better.
One game in
Charean.
there.
They know what they are. That's a Monday night game too in Chicago. I don't give the Viking a snowball's chance on the equator to have a chance at that one, which probably means they'll win the way my luck's been going picking games this year. Yeah. But look at the schedule. Leave that up, please. They're 5-1 right now through 6 games. 10 games left, which means all you got to do is go 5-5, and you're 10-6. All right. Yeah. So Vikings, Lions, Texans, Vikings, Jaguars. There's your 5 wins. You can get swept by the Packers. Yeah. You can lose to the Titans. You can lose to the Rams. You can lose to the Saints. You can still be 10-6, and that's a pretty damn good season for these Bears. And I think that's the minimum right now.
Well, and they need to win the division, Mike, to get a home field advantage. And we know it's hard to win in Chicago in January. It's cold, and if you get one of those indoor teams or a warm weather team, it's going to be really hard to win there. I'll say this. Their defense is good enough to keep them in every single game. They're going to be in every single game. They're not going to get blown out of games. And I think that's what they really have worked for them. They're 7th in defense, and when you look over there and you see Khalil Mack on the other side, you know they're going to get after people, and you better have your best foot forward on offense to compete with that defense, because you're just not going to score a lot of points. And when you get your chances, you better take advantage of it. But that defense is legit, I think. But they need to get the offense going. And maybe you find a running back somewhere, but I think they need a running back. They're 28th in rushing, 28th in overall offense, but they've got to get their running game going. Especially, again, if we're talking about winning a playoff game in cold weather, you got to be able to run the ball. And right now, this is a team that's averaging under 100 yards as a team running the ball every week.
You mentioned the next 5 games will be a challenge. The 5th game, you saw it on the schedule, the little peacock logo next to it, a Sunday night game, Thanksgiving weekend on NBC. Bears and Packers get together. That should be a great one, because it's very rare that both of those teams are great at the same time. And this year, they both look great, notwithstanding what happened to the Packers yesterday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.